I think Lakeith Stanfield has always been like one of the standout upcoming actors of our time.
18 months for the stolen car. 5 years for impersonating a federal officer. Or you can go home.
Drive-by movies, and you're watching
Fresh releases.
My name's Blaze.
And my name is James.
And today we're talking Judas and the Black Messiah.
You get to go out there, talk about dying a revolutionary death, because you don't have another person growing inside your body.
Anywhere there's people, there's power.
Judas and the Black Messiah is a new film that just hit HBO Max. It's directed by Shaka, and it follows Bill O'Neill, who infiltrates the Black Panther Party. It's about him working with Chairman Fred Hampton as he ascends and falling for a fellow revolutionary en route. A battle wages for O'Neill's soul. This stars none other than Lakeith Stanfield as like one of our main characters, and also has Daniel Kaluuya, two guys who are both in Get Out, which this is a very different kind of movie for them, but I am really excited to talk about it. It's been getting rave reviews, and honestly, you're just about to get another rave review. I wish there was something I could pick apart. There was a movie that came out recently where it was also getting rave reviews, but I wasn't the biggest fan, but this one is definitely worth the hype. I really enjoyed this movie. Blaze, what'd you think of it?
I was gonna say, you said that these movies are very different, Get Out and Judas and the Black Messiah, but I mean, aren't they both Oscar movies technically?
Touche, you got me there. Yeah. Oscar nominees aren't out just yet, are they?
I don't think they are. I think that it's going to be a tight race for a lot of these awards. I do see some nods coming out for this film, especially Daniel Kaluuya, but I really think that Lakeith Stanfield is the star that really shines in this film. His performance, I think, is really underrated, and I think a lot of people are really talking about Daniel Kaluuya. Maybe a lot of people didn't understand that he was a great actor from his performance in Get Out, because Get Out is more of a cult movie. It's more of, a mainstream success or horror, as a lot of people classify it. So I don't think a lot of people are really assuming that he's this great actor that comes from a pedigree and really, aspires to be a great actor. But I think we've been, keen to Daniel Kaluuya in his career previous to Get Out, even appearing in Skins as the posh Kenneth.
Fuck this shit, man. I'm belly on PDs, man.
Right. Yeah, I always forget about that, but fantastic role back in his early days.
Yeah, obviously not Oscar caliber, but I really do think Daniel Kaluuya is a great actor. I think that this film barely scratches the surface of what he can, really bring to the table when it comes to his career in acting. I think that he does a great job in this film, obviously shows us a side and many other people that he hasn't shown really before, but I do think that Lakeith Stanfield, for me, just the fact that his character is really at the heart of this film and the empathy in which we as an audience are supposed to feel for his character, even though clearly if you were to just read about this person, it's somebody that you're not obviously going to deem as a great person because of, all the kind of cataclysmic events in which they were the catalyst for, essentially. So
right.
I think that some of the most powerful things about this movie is just the fact that it has you show and kind of feel empathy for this character that isn't really necessarily a good person, I guess, obviously, because they're kind of the reason for all the events of this movie, not getting too far into it, but they're kind of the reason for the horrible events that happen throughout this movie.
Yeah, continuing with that, I think Lakeith Stanfield has always been one of the standout upcoming actors of our time. First movie we saw him, we brought up Short Term 12 just a couple weeks ago with Rami Malek. That was one of his early movies. Nobody really brings him up in that movie, but that role's really small. But who really stole that movie? Like, of course, Brie Larson's going to get like kind of the hype, and understandably so for that movie. But Lakeith Stanfield, I thought, was the one who stood out for that movie. And he's getting all these roles in a lot of major movies, but he's never getting the main part, or per se, you could say. But with this movie, he's definitely the main character, but he's not standing out critic-wise. Like, I hope he is. Like, I haven't read it, but, you know, he didn't get a Golden Globe nomination, which bummed me out, because he definitely deserves it and stuff. He's up there, and just, like, I don't know too much about the real-life history of Bill O'Neill, but, like, just the fact that they brought someone, like, who, you know, technically was, like, you know, working and, like, kind of betrayed, who betrayed Fred Hampton and stuff, and like that already like would disgust a lot of people, but just like seeing the turmoil he's going through without this, like that's all like Lakeith bringing it in, and whether that's part of the true story, like, you know, I can't comment on that, but like I thought like it was a fantastic performance bringing that into a character and make you really empathize and feel so bad for what he's going through. Like, he does not want to be doing this and stuff. He's really falling for like everything that they stand for and stuff, and that brought some really great points in this movie.
Yeah, and I thought for this film, there are like the way that the film ends, it kind of has like that Lord of the Rings ending in a way where it's like there's so many title cards at the end, or maybe an American Graffiti ending. There's a lot of title cards and then small scenes or clippets or interviews from the actual people, which I actually really enjoyed about this movie. Is they included these interviews of Bill O'Neill and even footage of Fred Hampton, and it kind of really gets you into like how these people were really, you know, these characters at the time that people could get behind when it comes to Fred Hampton, or Bill O'Neill's like definitely had documentaries about him. So I thought that was a really cool way to kind of integrate this real life footage, documentary footage, and kind of give this biopic like a almost not reality, but just a documentary kind of sense, which really made the film feel obviously authentic. But also, I really thought that the ending, there's so much that's kind of powerful in the ending when it comes to words, because it shows that Bill O'Neill really did believe that he was a revolutionary. Yet, if you think about the actions in which he took, whether he was bullied into them or not, but did he squash a revolution almost? So the film really does a great job of having you empathize with this character that is trying to free themselves, while at the same time is almost a catalyst for the ending of a revolution before it even starts, in a way.
Yeah, that's one of the big takeaways and stuff. And like, I love that it's like bringing in a lot of interesting discussions to the table and everything. And this is a movie that I really think stands out. Like, we've been getting so many good movies already so far this year. I mean, I hope it's not just because it's like technically the Oscar season, but after last year, it like felt so stale. Like, not because of Corona, even before Corona, it just felt like, did I really care about the Oscars last year? I mean, of course I love Parasite, but you know, with this though, just like this is definitely like the front runner with a Promising Young Woman. I absolutely loved and adored that movie. And then also, I mean, Saint Maud's not going to win anything, but that was like a great release that we got to check out last week and stuff. So like, I'm loving the momentum that we're bringing so far this year. And like HBO Max, like I've been looking, we've reviewed a lot of their big headliner movies each month. I was disappointed with the little things. Definitely not the worst movie, but was disappointed. Very disappointed with Wonder Woman, as we brought up. But like this one, I was super stoked on and stuff. And you know, I've said it. I have a Godzilla blanket right next to me and stuff, so you know I'm excited for Godzilla versus Kong. So HBO Max, I think, is coming through lately. It wasn't going to be like a hit right away, but like I'm looking forward to see what else they bring for the rest of the year.
I'm just generally curious, but isn't Mortal Kombat coming out soon?
Yeah, I believe that's coming out in April. They just released the trailer, but it's supposed to come out like in April or May or something. So that trailer that came out, that's, you know, that movie I'm sure a lot of people are excited for. I never really played that game too often, but I'm excited for people who are excited for it, at least. Yeah.
I'm just excited because I didn't even know that movie was coming out. So in the sense of like, oh, that's cool that like I had no expectations whatsoever, and then it's appearing on my doorstep in April.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't seen the trailer, I'll just let you know. It looks kind of stupid in my opinion.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, we've talked about Mortal Kombat in the past. Just when it comes to Bloodsport, on our Bloodsport episode, we mentioned how Mortal Kombat is a farce. So if they can even be cheesy in the sense. I mean, the whole thing is just cheesy. I feel like every Mortal Kombat thing has been so serious. So if they can really take it the opposite way and do like a fun B-movie twist on it, I think that could really bring the sense of Mortal Kombat, because all the fatalities and the whole story is just so silly that if you really tie into that, I think it could make a really fun B-movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. I totally agree, but it doesn't look like that's what they're going for. Yeah.
I'm just trying to cut us some slack. But anyways, yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the HBO Max offerings, especially on the back of Judas and the Black Messiah. I thought this film was great. I definitely recommend anyone to check it out that hasn't already. And if you haven't checked it out, go ahead, check out the movie. It's available exclusively on HBO Max, which you can watch the film over there. I think there's a free trial probably somewhere, so grab that if you don't already have HBO Max. Watch the movie, come back here, comment on how you liked the film, or if you didn't like it, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, after doing that, a great way to help us out is by smashing that like button. Helps get this video reach a larger audience, so be sure to do that. And if you haven't and are new to our channel, subscribe and hit that notification bell to get all our latest updates on new videos.
Anyways, guys, that is going to close out fresh releases this week. Tune in next week for a brand new episode.